Welcome back. We're in our new Studio B over here. This is Studio B. I bet you didn't know that. Yeah, that's Studio B. It actually joins with Studio A, which is just a few feet over that way. We'd like to welcome John Gray. John Gray here with a couple saddles. And are these your handiwork?
Yes, they are.
Everything you see here is your handiwork?
No, this one is not.
Okay.
This is was my apprentice.
Okay.
And when I brought him to this point, I had cut the design. It's a Northwest design. You don't see this design in this part of America.
Northwest means what? The type of artwork on there? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. The artwork is usually Texas, which kind of affects the mid-south here and the mid-central, like Kansas and places. Then you've got the Arizona style, which is pretty fancy, but so precise it almost looks like a machine has done it, but it's hand done.
Right, okay.
And you have California floral tooling, and then you have the Northwest, which is usually found in, maybe Northern California, but Idaho, Washington.
Now, what kind of style
Oregon.
is this right here?
This particular saddle here.
Because there's no artwork on that at all.
No, this is what we call a border style. See, a lot of people, especially if in the English world, they like things that are very plain. We don't. And the reason we don't is every little blemish shows up. And the problem is, unless you cut and the saddle becomes just unbelievably expensive, you're going to find range marks, barbed wire cuts.
Okay. So the tooling kind of helps that.
Does two things. It hardens the leather, makes it wear longer. Also, it hides mistakes. So whenever somebody wants a plain saddle, we run a border, no extra charge. Because what it does, it draws your eyes away from that blemish, and you begin to see the way the border runs.
So how long have you been doing this?
I'll be 76 this year. And when I got out of the Air Force, I went away to college for a short period of time. My dad had a saddle shop. They had moved up into Michigan from Texas, and I've been doing it since in my mid-20s.
Wow. 50-some years then. Okay.
Just short of 50
So
years.
you kind of know what you're doing.
I'm learning.
You're getting close.
I'm getting better.
So do you do these like for individuals that order them?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Okay, now this one was built for a policeman's wife in Little Rock, retired state trooper. This one was built for actually a movie star. Tread Barta, who for years had a movie show on RFD TV.
Okay.
I actually saw him kill a bear one shot with a bow from a wheelchair. And I've seen him rope out of this particular saddle. I saw him rope a calf on TV.
Which brings us to the back brace. And is this what you specialize in?
Right, this whole total package, we specialize a lot in this. Of course, we build regular saddles too. We build roping saddles and cutting saddles. And we do English work. I'm probably only one of a couple in Arkansas here that can build an English saddle from the bottom right up.
Wow.
But we do this because you deal with a lot of people who are paraplegics, some quads, CPs, cerebral palsy, MS, multiple sclerosis, Hodgkin's disease, and a lot of things I can't even pronounce. And we have people call us, we talk with them, we find out about their horse, we find out about their disability, things like weight and everything. Now this chest strap is adjustable.
I see that on
these side pieces are, in the medical term, these nurses would know about that, they're called side laterals or rib laterals, and they're designed to keep somebody who can't keep up straight from falling sideways.
Right.
And I happened to be in a Goodwill store one day, and I saw these on a wheelchair. I bought the wheelchair for these.
Oh, really?
And found out where we could get them, and this is what we put on every saddle now. And it has a breakaway. See, yeah. I guess I didn't adjust it, but it pops away so that people can, and then it'll lock in place so people can get in and out.
That's nice.
Because a lot of therapeutic riding centers, the average lady that works at the center is about your size.
Oh.
she barely can see over the top of the saddle, so they need to be able to get a person into the saddle and the person out of the saddle in case in the horse world storm happens to happen.
Which brings us to how you get them in and out of the saddle.
Now all kinds of ways. They build ramps.
Okay.
The French have now made a little, and I think they must have learned that from the from the days of the knights, because they've got a little rig where they can put you under your arms and lift you up, slide you over and drop you down into the saddle, or they have a ramp where they can put you up in a wheelchair and just transpose you into the saddle. This particular one was interesting because this man and his wife, California trainers, they hired him and brought him to Florida, and they contacted me, and the family wanted their mother to ride again. She had had a stroke and she couldn't ride as she used to. So they called me and we stopped everything, and we don't do that too often. Whatever customer calls in, that's the next one in line. But because of this lady's age and it was her birthday, we stopped and built this saddle. At the time, had no idea that they had taught this horse to lay down. But they taught that horse to lay down, and then they were able to load her into the saddle and speak to the mare, and she stood up. Now that one you just picked up in your hand, right, that one?
This one?
And the one underneath it.
Okay.
She was our, yes, now this lady's name was Gina, and she used to be a model for Norge appliances, and she was shot, paralyzed, and a friend of mine who has a facility for making things for special needs people, her and I had come in contact with each other, and so I asked her to just take one of our saddle concepts and if somebody called. So next thing I know, Gina called me from Ohio, and she said, I would like to be able to ride again. She's 5 foot tall, and she is a spitfire, that little girl. You give her you load her in the saddle, give her the reins. She says, you get out of my way, and she, from her upper body, her shoulders, head, she can handle a horse.
She's independent.
So you get her in, you strap her in, and she's gone one more time.
Yeah,
Now,
interesting.
how long does it take to custom build a saddle?
The way we're building these, we're looking, and it depends on what kind of, because I've built like that one for Gina that had silver on it, because she actually went to Tennessee and competed in some shows, and they didn't know what to do with her because they had no rules at that time. The Quarter Horse Association now has some rules about special needs people, but at that time they didn't, see. So she told them, I'm coming. They said, we can't let you ride. She said, I'll let you talk to my lawyer. They said, come on. Because at that time they really didn't have any, now they have some standards, which they didn't have at that time. And so we hung silver on it, and we've built probably 5 or 6 silver mounted saddles for people like her that want to show. We've got a couple up in Michigan, and this one young lady now, she's actually started her own riding facility for handicapped people. And then we've had one the last 3 years. Interesting story. Phone rings. I look at my caller ID. It says John Gray. I thought, okay. My kids are pulling my leg because I have one boy named Jonathan, and he likes to call himself John, J-O-N. I said, well, no, but he wouldn't spell it like that, because that's how I spell my name. So I read it again. It said John Gray III. I thought, okay. I better answer this one. Guy from Louisiana had been hurt in an accident. Wanted to start sorting cattle again. Needed a saddle like this, so we built one for him. Next thing I hear, he's riding in the, what is that place they do down in Louisiana where every year they have that big parade? And
oh, the Mardi Gras?
Oh, the Mardi Gras, right. He's been down there riding in the Mardi Gras for the last 3 years. And then we built another one for a gentleman by the name of Osterberg down in the Louisiana, I believe it's Louisiana, Alabama border. And last I heard, he was, I didn't even sleep that night. I had a heart attack almost. He said he wanted to be able to rope again. So I built him a roping saddle. Last I heard, he was riding pickup in rodeos.
Oh, really?
Out of one of these saddles.
Wow, that's interesting.
That's scary.
It's scary.
Well, it is for the saddle maker.
Yeah, no, you're fine with that.
But
I'm
you
sure.
know what? When God created you and I, He put something in us, an indomitable spirit. We don't lay down and die easy until we've lost all hope.
Yeah.
And then we'll commit suicide or just roll over, face the wall, and give up the ghost. But as long as there's that hope in us, we're going to do it. And if you're a horse lover, if you love horses, you will find a way
To get back on them
to
again.
get on them, to get around them,